the past, women were primarily regarded as baby makers and caregivers, whereas men held positions of power. But today in the West, ladies have acquired autonomy and begun to address how they are treated by men. Some women have caught up to or surpassed men in terms of status and power during this time. Men out there are feeling very disappointed with the condition of connections and dating nowadays. Women use social media as a means of expressing their displeasure with men. Have you ever considered how women are treating men these days? It seems that once a woman becomes independent and empowered, she starts to treat a certain type of guy as if he's no longer valuable.
Feminism has taken away from the women that want to be at home. Because now, a woman who says, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom, there's embarrassment.
Yeah.
They almost don't want to say it. They make up things. I run an Amazon store. Like, you live at home.
Right.
You know, you're always home. It's not a bad thing. Raising a child is a lot of work. I personally think feminism is destroying femininity.
As I got involved in the women's movement, I began to witness the economic and social advantages women were gaining over men. And thanks to the influence of social media, there was an outpouring of negativity towards men. It's a shift in social dynamics that cannot be ignored. I'm starting to think that maybe it's not just plain old misogyny. Perhaps men have always secretly harbored these thoughts and feelings, but never had the opportunity to express them. It's as if a whole new world has opened up. It seems that men care about women far more than women care about men. Let me elaborate. When you see individuals making videos on the internet about their struggles in finding love, it's mostly men, right? And who longs for the good old days of the 90s when relationships were more traditional and lasted longer? Again, mostly men. Who's getting frustrated with the current state of relationships? Bingo, it's the men. The women who complain about good guys on the internet are usually those who have undergone a transformation from their wild days or are single mothers with a lot of baggage. Let's not forget the older women on the brink of financial ruin, desperate for a man's support or money. But you know who hardly ever complains about needing a good man or a dream relationship? It's the young, vibrant women in the dating game. Women between the ages of 18 and 28 are living life for themselves and couldn't care less about being tied down to some guy or his place.
I've said this one before and I'm going to say it again. Women are trust fund babies when it comes to the sexual marketplace. What do I mean by this? I mean, women get their value up front. They get their money up front. It's on them how the fuck they want to spend their money. So if they want to take their, their prime years, we know this from statistical fact, from 18 to 24 is when women are the most desirable to men universally. That's a fact. Okay? If one wants to take that 6-year prime and go ahead and take 6 dicks and in a day and travel the world and be on yachts and fuck a bunch of guys and have sugar daddies, all that shit, that's her prerogative. That's fine. But do not sit there and expect me to respect and take this woman seriously down the fucking road when I'm at my fucking prime.
And it's not just the younger ones. Women of all ages seem to have lost interest in men unless they're desperate or in need. When I listen to these women today, I hear all sorts of things. When they are successful and thriving, they don't give much thought to being in a man's presence or anything like that. They prioritize themselves above everything else. And if they happen to have children, they'll only take care of them to a certain extent. These women are incredibly selfish. Have you seen them marching to advocate for the termination of their own offspring? And don't even get me started on how openly they disrespect and belittle men. They claim they're not ready to settle down and want to enjoy their youth. On the other hand, men are all about love and family life, right? But guess what? Men are starting to feel frustrated because they aren't getting what they desire. It's like women are stuck in the past, while men are now craving what women have always wanted from them. The roles have somewhat reversed, and it's time for men to focus on their own priorities.
There is a group of women that have those baby rabies, etc. They want to get married. They'll go ahead and concede to get married to that guy that is like the safe bet, right? They'll get married to him, have kids with him. He eventually bores her. She divorces him, has the kids that she wants, is able to extract resources from him, and then put herself back out into the sexual marketplace, right? While she still has a little bit of value, and find a higher status guy than you, right? This is fucking real, guys. Girls do this, especially girls that get married, let's say like 21, 22, etc. Y'all think the game is over? No, it's not, bro. No, it's not, because the average marriage in the United States lasts about 5 to 7 years, okay? That's plenty of time for her to get in, pop out a couple kids, get that part of her life handled, then get the fuck out of the sexual marketplace before 30. Sorry, excuse me. Get out of the fucking relationship before the age of 30. Still have some sexual market value left and be able to pull a guy that's extremely attractive, that's better than you.
Let's not forget that divorce is often planned out long before the wedding day. She has all the necessary information and has been studying the women around her. But the real question is she thinking about you and your shared future? Or is it all about her and what benefits her? Let's take it a step further. If someone is already planning their escape route before even entering a partnership or doing business with you, can you honestly say they care about you? Absolutely not. However, for some reason, when a woman does it, she often gets a free pass due to the power she holds between her legs and the emotions she can evoke in you. To those guys who can't seem to let go of a long-term relationship with a woman, let's consider a different perspective. Many of the women and wives you've been with didn't actually choose to be with you. Sorry to burst your bubble, but they settled for you because they couldn't find anyone better at the time. That's why the whole argument of getting back together comes up. If she had landed a top-notch guy like the one she was previously involved with on his luxurious yacht, you wouldn't have had a chance to propose, let alone marry her. Don't deceive yourself. Your girl had someone who was financially superior to you or possessed a quality that made her weak in the knees. So why do you think she really wanted you? Based on her past actions and flirtatious behavior, it's clear that the reality is quite different. She's only with you because she couldn't find anyone better or because you were the only one foolish enough to put a ring on her finger. Let's be real from the start. She never genuinely cared about you. It was always about her. And now, she feels perfectly fine treating you like yesterday's trash and taking advantage of all your resources. You see men on the internet complaining about women wanting threesomes and foursomes, but she acts like she doesn't know what she's doing. But nothing a woman does is random. Remember that. Her pregnancy wasn't an accident, and her use of substances like marijuana or pills was intentional. Everything she did was because she wanted to do it, and it felt good to her in that moment. It's all about her. When the consequences of her actions finally catch up to her, she will regret it and try to avoid taking responsibility.
Looks at a woman's past, and a woman looks at a man's future. See, to a man, a woman's past matters because it tells her the type of woman he's going to deal with. It also tells him her level of loyalty. On the flip side, a woman looks at a man's future because that tells her and her kids' future. That tells her the type of future she's going to have with her children and with the family. Her past matters to him, and his future matters to her.
Would you still date a woman if you knew she had a tumultuous past and did pretty much whatever she wanted? It's a tough one, and you have to ask yourself some hard-hitting questions to see if she's worth the risk. Trust me, asking her some tough questions will reveal if I'm just blowing smoke or not. Let's take a look at all those happily married men out there. Do they genuinely believe their wives are looking out for their best interests? The married men I know purposely stay out late, hitting the bar or spending time with coworkers, just to avoid going home to their wives and kids. And when they finally do come home, it often leads to intense fights with their wives. These poor guys have already dealt with work-related difficulties, an unsatisfied boss, only to come home to a situation where they're financially responsible for everything and treated even worse. Sure, the wife may take care of certain aspects, but does she have the decency to let the man relax and enjoy a hot meal after a long day? Nope, not a chance. These women simply don't care about their men, trust me. I've witnessed women who would rather treat their female friends and coworkers like royalty instead of their own partners. These women don't care about you in the slightest, and they don't even try to hide it anymore. So, listen up. Whatever happens to you is on you. If you choose to stay with someone who is merely tolerating you and doesn't genuinely want you, that's your choice. What do you think? Tell us down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell. Also like and share the video, champs. Thank you for watching.